Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin back again, and today we are going to be reacting to one of our fan requests. This was to take a look at the Shiva Tandava Stotram, and I think this is due because of a reaction we did on the Ravana film that we just took a look at.
Yep.
And this is the hymn that Ravana wrote for Shiva, who then let him go after because he was so moved by this hymn that he wrote for him while he was being pressed under the mountain by Shiva and his foot holding the mountain down on him.
So is it safe to say that this is a pretty famous hymn within Hinduism?
Oh yeah, this thing, there's many versions of it online. You can look it up on YouTube with I think one video said 2.5 billion views.
Oh wow.
So I don't know how real that is, but
now
a lot of people are looking at it.
Now we're gonna react to it.
All right, well, we won't keep you waiting. Let's get into it.
Shivam bhajamyaham, sada Shivam bhajamyaham. Om Namah Shivaya. Sahasralochana pravritya sheshalekha shekaram Rasoladolidorani vidosarangripitam Bhujangarajamalaya nibaddhajata Shriyai chiraya jayatam chakora bandhu shekara Lalana jadvara jwalar taranjaya spulinga bhavi gita panchasayakam namannilimpanayakam sudhamayukhalekhaya virajamana shekaram mahagapali sampade shiro jatalamastudha Karalabhalavattika dagaddagaddagadjwaladharanjayahuti प्रचंड पंचसायके धराधरेन्द्र नंदिनी कुचाग्र चित्र पत्रकार कल्पनैक शिल्पिनी त्रिलोचने रतिर्ममा नवीन मेघ मंडली निरुद्ध दुर्धर स्फुरत् कुहूनि शीतिनी तम प्रबंध बद्ध कंदर निलिम्पनर्झरे धरस्तनोतु कृत्ति सिन्धुरा कलानिधान बन्धुर श्रियं जगद्दुरन्धर पंकज प्रपंचकारिमप्रभा वलम्बिकण्टकं दलि शुचिप्रबद्धकन्धरम् स्मरच्चिदम् पुरच्चिदम् पवच्चिदम् मखच्चिदम् गजच्चिदान्धकच्चिदम् तमन्तकच्चिदम् भजे अखर्व सर्वमङ्गला कलाकदम्बमञ्जरी रसप्रवाहमाधुरी विजृम्भणा मधुव्रतम् स्मरान्तकम् पुरान्तकम् भवान्तकम् मखान्तकम् गजान्तकान्तकान्तकम् तमन्तकान्तकम् भजे मृदङ्गतुङ्गमङ्गल परिक्रम प्रवर्तित प्रचण्ड ताण्डव शिव त्रिशद्विचक्रकल्पयोर्भुजङ्गमौक्तिकसजो गरिष्ठरत्नलोष्टयो सुहृद्विपक्षपक्षयो धरणारविन्द चक्षुषो प्रजामहि महेन्द्रयो समप्रवृत्तिकदा सदा शिवं भजाम्यहम् शिवेति मन्त्रमुच्चरन् कदा सुखी भवाम्यहम् इमं हि नित्यमेव मुक्तमुत्तमोत्तमं स्तवं पठन् स्मरन् भ्रुवन्धरो विशुद्धिमेति सन्ततं हरे गुरौ सुभक्तिमाशु याति नान्यथा गतिं विमोहनं हि देहिनां सुशङ्करस्य विमोहनं हि देहिनां सुशङ्करस्य चिन्तनम्
Posed by Ravana. I wonder if he sung the original version and harmonized with his multiple heads.
That'd be a gift that you might be able to have. If I haven't mentioned it already, I want to, give props to the person who produced this video or whatever. It's done by 19 Soul Finders. Interesting, the modernization of it with kind of like the synth. It actually reminded me a little bit with like the guitar picking there, like it's like an electric guitar or a synth. It sounded like Knight Rider to me a little bit.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder. I wonder what the original sounded like. Would it have been just drums, or would they have different stringed instruments to do that? And then thinking about like when you think of Ravana and the story that we watched of him not too long ago, it seems like this would be a weird thing to be coming out of his mouth. After because he gets painted with a pretty dark picture, all the things that he did over the course of his life. And then after, I guess he was definitely a devotee of Shiva, but even after being released, he seemed to go back to his old ways, even after all that.
Well, it's interesting because in real life, if some guy came up to you and was like, I'm your biggest fan, I wrote this song for you, James, whose hair is perfect and his eyes shine like the sun, like you'd be like, ah, you know what I mean? Like anybody singing a song going on and on about how awesome you were, probably for a mere mortal like us would be odd, feel weird. It's got such a mystical vibe to it. The tones and the keys and the musical notes in this song make it feel mystical. Is that just me?
Yeah, no, I definitely got some of that.
They've like nailed mystical sound. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sorry.
No, I hear you. I feel like I was kind of feeling that I was moving around as I was watching it and reading the lyrics. A lot of me was kind of just trying to read through the lyrics. One thing that kind of like stood out with the lyrics was all the descriptors that were being given about Shiva at this time. And I wonder if like more drawings, more things of Shiva started to happen after this hymn was written, because like did the majority of the descriptors of Shiva, do they originate from this hymn? You know, because Shiva
Do they?
I don't know. That's a question for the audience out there. You know, maybe you can help us. Was Shiva looked at from a different light after this was written? Did people have now a greater understanding of Shiva and what's going on there?
Worth noting, yeah. You know, for like the common practice, like I'm pretty ignorant as to where you would maybe hear this. You know what I mean? You would go into a temple or people singing this, like. For your own personal use, I could imagine kind of going into a fugue state and reading over the lyrics, you know what I mean, and looking at it and trying to go into kind of a state and seeing what happens for fun, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, there was, I think, even a verse inside of here that was kind of talking about this would be something that men would repeat over and over, like remember the words or something. I may have, you know, lost something in translation.
It's just interesting because some of it's about like his hair and his...
Yeah, he's wearing elephant skins and the snake.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
And there's also a side of this too that has to do with Shiva's dance, because Shiva's got a dance.
Right.
I ChatGPT'd a little bit of this. It made the points that this is kind of like a hymn of devotion. It's a hymn of praise. It's a plea for grace because he was trapped. And then it was also a spiritual revelation, I guess, of Shiva's superiority in the cosmos.
You know, in the religion we grew up in, they had similar things. Like when you go to church, like, I don't know, it just might be fun to know that. Like if you've never been into like a Christian church before, there's hymns. And back then, some of them would be like long lists about how great God was. Like, and they would be explaining in a similar fashion, like, God is so great because who else can do this? And he's so great. And, you know, interesting, this thing that appears within religion, these songs that are like praising. They're like praise songs, right? Yeah. You know, and it's interesting. It's like, what about that? What can we say about that? That's poignant.
Maybe that to me, like the focus is on like the creator, but it seems sometimes like an indirect way of giving acknowledgement to the beauty of the reality that we live within, because it's being thankful, saying like, wow, look at the sky, look at the mountains, look at the fields, look at all these amazing things, you know, and then you're saying, well, thanks to the creator. But, you know, to go on to another level, maybe the creator doesn't need to know that. Maybe the creator's in the creation. The creation, you know, maybe just acknowledging the creation, being like, wow, like nothing else needs to get thanked for this. I'm just thankful that it's all here anyway. I don't know if you're catching what I'm saying.
Yeah, I am catching what you're saying. The first part seemed to recognize the place it may be coming from, and then the second part was like a suggestion that maybe you can recognize that in the world that you see around you. Yeah. And I kind of align with that. Like, to me, I've been sort of quoted as saying, I think that is my form of worship. I think if anything's worship, it's appreciating life in whatever way you can. It could be anything. It could be, you know, the glow of a neon light in the evening. It could be the sound of cicadas. It could be anything. If you're appreciating it and enjoying reality, I think that's kind of like worship in a way, whatever worship is. You know, when it gets into the realm of like, say something good about me or I'll punish you, that's a little different, right? Wherever I'm not saying that that's what this is at all. I mean, but the guy who wrote it was under a mountain being stepped on by Shiva.
That's true.
That gets a little bit into the realm of human ego, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. We want to know what you have to say. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone, until next time, stay spiritual.